All right, I think we should be good. So I don't know who wants to start the process of going through it.
Well, the ordering. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, just as far as ordering, you just go to the GridPlus site, and do the link on the Phonon DAO site to the GridPlus Shopify site, and you would just click order.
Ideally, we could create an.
Here, you like doing turbo podcast in the background?
No.
Extrapolate out.
Oh, I hear something coming through. I don't know.
Extrapolate outward.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
So they go to the phonon.network/alpha test. Order your testnet alpha kit here. And then we're waiting for this page to get updated.
Yeah, we've got to do that right after this call. Dan, we're at your mercy for picks right now, but I want other Doug from our team to kind of polish this up, and then you can just give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. I'll look at it too. But we should have some mention of this. We should link to Phonon DAO as well. So yeah, we'll get that right after this, sometime this afternoon, and we'll show you guys what it looks like. But really, that's it. I mean, so customer service, everything. This is, we're handling all of this. So if there's any inquiries about shipping, customs, that's going to go through normal GridPlus customer support for this particular batch. So pretty much that's already something that's end-to-end covered because something we do every day anyways. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
So after they order this and they receive it, then what's the next step that they have to do?
Yeah, then they would need to register their card on the register.phonon.network site.
Yeah,
and they're going to get
they'll need to
software
get the card
first.
IDs.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so they'll need to get the card IDs. Currently, I'm working on something so that they just run the Phonon application with the cards plugged in, and it'll show them the card IDs and link them to register.phonon.network. However, I don't have that done yet, so the plan now is to plug in the cards, run the Phonon app, and then it'll show the card IDs on the screen, and then they go to register.phonon.network, and then put in their card IDs, authenticate with MetaMask, sign something to prove the ownership of their address. Then it should give them back an API key that they have to save to a text file. I'm talking too fast. Somebody should be taking notes on this.
I already have notes on it.
Perfect. So then they have to save that to a text file in their home directory. I can give you the exact path. At which point they can close down the Phonon app, open it back up again, and then start doing things.
So
Can I have an ask?
Yes.
Is it possible that if successfully loading in your config file that we display, like the cards are connected to this Ethereum address or something so that they know that the config actually loaded?
I was planning on doing something like that, but it was going to be difficult. But I will do that next week. It probably won't be done by the time we launch, but I think I can have it done by the time people receive their cards.
Okay, cool. Because even myself, I'm like, I wonder if my old config file is still working, and I just have no idea to verify that.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting a nice, fancy little native program window to open up to handle taking people through setting that config up. And then I guess we just need a little green dot in the corner saying, hey, you're registered with the telemetry service and you are sending logs to us so we can track who's doing what.
Yeah.
So I counted, I think, about 6 steps there. Is that documented anywhere that we can share or put on the website, or because we're going to get a crap load of questions here?
I'm trying to document it, but the issue is like if he's changing how the token works, like because currently, if you go through the register.phonon.network, it gives you a token ID, and then you have to save it to a YAML config file within the home directory of your computer. So my username is Mondays. Shocker here. So mine's like C:/users Mondays, and then like dot phonon as a folder, and then it's in there. So I mean, it's a little different for Mac and Linux, but I have that documented. But if we're changing how
We're not changing how it's stored. We're just adding an automation to store it there for the user.
So
it's going to be in the same exact place. It's going to be the same exact file format. But the change I'm trying to make is going to just have it so you just put that token into a fancy little box on the screen, and then it'll save it there automatically, instead of making you open up Notepad and paste it
sure.
in. That makes sense.
Okay. When do you think that would be ready so that we can try to get documentation for it?
I'm working on it right now. It will be done before Monday.
Okay.
Okay, so the step one after they get the card is to go download the app.
Yes. And that will be at our GitHub pages under the releases page. We can link to that from somewhere.
Yeah, probably link to that, on the store page, and as well as in whatever getting started documentation the DAO provides.
Yeah, there's some stuff missing from our FAQ. We had put that in there, and then the kind of guide to get all the cards registered.
So, are we gonna have this live on the Phonon site? Is that something Rush you can update once we do get all the steps from Tuesday?
Yeah, I think we'll have an FAQ on the Phonon site, just guiding people how to get started. Maybe quick start guide / FAQ kind of setup.
Yeah, I think
to avoid an influx of.
put it. I mean, we have the alpha test page. I need to update the rewards as Dan put out the newest version, and then probably towards the top we could have the steps. We could do it like a downloadable file if people like download a PDF of the steps so they can have it locally, or that and just listen them out. But I think having one location to direct everybody to would be the easiest.
Okay, got it. Let me just write these down and hand this stuff to Rake so you make sure you update the FAQ.
And so the other question I have is if they have Linux, Mac, Windows, I assume there's downloadable files for Mac and Windows that they have to do. Where are those going to live?
So they're going to be on the releases page. That's automatically built by GitHub. So we'll want to point everything to the releases / latest, because that's going to be where everything is. Let me generate a link for that.
Kamada, if you click the Google Doc that I sent you, that's kind of what I was starting, and then I now know that we're not going to be running it in command line, so I'll probably start removing some of those steps there. But
so let me post the link in the chat for this discussion. So that will be the link that'll bring to whatever the latest thing is. You have the DMG asset for Mac, and then right now we have Phonon.exe for Windows. However, that will be replaced with a Phonon.msi installer package that will install the program. And then for Linux, given that there's so many configurations and so many different versions of Linux out there, working so many different ways, and we assume that the average Linux user is going to have a higher technical literacy, we'll be asking Linux users to build from scratch.
I would say if you're a Linux user, you got to handle your own flavors.
Yeah, that's on you. So we'll have Linux users build from scratch. I believe we have instructions on the readme.md on how to do that.
Yeah,
They're a little
I had
bit
a friend go through that last night, and he thought it was pretty well documented, and he was fine with it.
Okay. Yeah, we're missing a couple of things to make sure the front end works properly. But yeah, we'll finish that. We'll update this documentation. But this page is going to be where you get it. The one I just linked in the chat.
Okay, so Rush, that'll be something that we can add on this page as well.
Yes, sounds good.
So what's
Who is gathering all this in, all the details?
I copied it down and I threw it in the comms.
All right.
And the links as well.
and I should have a recording of this too, Rush. So
Perfect. Thanks, man. Thanks, Meg.
so that'll get them to they download they'll have the steps on how to register the cards, how to install depending upon what platform they're using, and then after that point, then they're ready to test. Rush, you said there were some changes to this.
Yeah. I don't know if Dan is on this call, but I think Dan put some new rewards. Just
Yeah, I'm here.
was that you? I think.
I think, yeah, let me double check, but this looks like it's the new version, or the latest version I put up.
I think he would. I made some suggestions. I don't know if those could be final, but I suggested just making the bigger rewards towards the end, kind of incentivize people to go all the way through. But it looks like we're kind of set up that way. So.
Oh, I think, yeah, most of this is updated. I think we were going to nix the throughput testing, replace that with a kind of a bonus objective, one that may not be entirely possible. So maybe we want to redistribute the rewards based on that. I don't know, but I wanted to have one on there to like see if people could duplicate or double spend a phone on, see if there's any way someone can come up with to break the current security model. So yeah, I don't know how much we want to allocate towards that versus the ones that are definitely achievable. But I think that would be more valuable test feedback than a throughput test at this point.
Yeah, should we make it a pretty juicy reward, like over and above?
Yeah, I mean, I expect it to be hard. I guess maybe we'd put out there like duplicate a phonon through a unique method, so that if someone does find a way to do that, it's not just like copied by everyone else participating in the testnet, which would not be valuable feedback any longer. But I guess whoever's the first one to prove they can do it, we can put a bounty out there for it, which would be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
What I had in mind.
Do we know if you could technically use a non-testnet during this?
We've only enabled deposits and redeems for, several ETH testnets and BNB testnet at the moment. So things will not work on mainnets, nor would I suggest people use mainnet assets with the current iteration of the applet.
Minor thing, but for the directions with creating the 10 asset backed phonons, can we add links to like Rinkeby faucets? And I don't know if there's a BNB testnet fund faucet directly, but the more friction we can eliminate, the better.
We should probably remove the Bitcoin reference there too, because that's not supported at the moment.
I've been harvesting from faucets for a while to prepare for this, but I can get a list of faucets, and I can more than willing to be a faucet myself.
Okay, I mean, as long as that's like communicated to people on there, because no matter how much you write it out, people will always be asking about all of these things. So.
Oh yeah.
So it sounds like there's some changes there that we're going to need Rush to make. So remove the Bitcoin and maybe add another step for the double spend, right?
I would say we could Yeah, eliminate the number 6, the throughput test, and I guess redistribute those rewards. And yeah, then create that bonus objective for duplicating a phonon, or first person to duplicate a phonon. We could put some kind of a large reward behind that.
So new reward: first person to duplicate a phonon or show proof
Yeah.
of double spend.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting feedback to find out if someone has a way to break the system at the moment. I think we definitely want to learn from a testnet.
So what's the reward going to be for that?
We can, I think, like from a governance way to make it simple. Why don't you let me go into the comms budget and see what I can come up with, so it's kind of more efficient, and I'll get back to you when I go through the budget.
Okay. So Rush, it sounds like there's a lot here for you to do. Like, do you have the bandwidth to do this, or is there somebody else that can help with if you don't?
Yeah, I should be able to if I can get all like the content in like one location. It's a lot easier versus having to stop and go try to collect it. So like we have a doc or something that has the FAQs. I can
Yeah,
add
we
those,
have that.
and if I can get I made some notes as far as the reward changes, but there's a couple outstanding items, and then the last thing would be the just documentation of the steps.
We have a quick start guide for you and an FAQ, which is missing a little bit of content following this meeting, but we'll get that over to you, and then you can load it up on the site.
Yeah, that would be a lot of help. We're trying to get this out there before the 1st. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'd be good to get it
As
on
soon as
Monday, but
possible.
launch is Wednesday, so yeah, Monday would be good.
Okay. Yeah, I should be able to handle that. I'll reach out if it's too much and get some other hands on it.
Cool.
So here are the steps. Is this enough information for somebody to come in and just do this, or is there more documentation among these steps, like connect and send, mine a native phonon, and where does that live?
Yeah, I imagine that instructions for that stuff should probably live in the quick start guide, at least like an overview of it. I mean, most of that stuff should be fairly simple once you get the app open. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt to provide some instructions there.
Where's the quick start guide located again? Sorry if that was already discovered.
I'm not sure, but it's been discussed as being put up on here, right?
We have basically everything up until the point where you can get up and start doing the challenges, but we don't have any information on actually accomplishing any of the tasks. We don't have any documentation on any of that stuff. At least I don't think we do. So right now the quick start guide basically covers you from the point where you get the kit and you register it and you can start, but it doesn't go into detail yet.
Okay. Can we get someone to maybe try to step through this after getting set up and produce those instructions?
My thought is,
yeah.
oh, go ahead, Tuesday.
I mean, I was planning on doing that. I just know that we keep having little changes here and there, so I've been trying to get to more of where we're gonna be to be able to. I didn't know if we're gonna keep updating things and have it change.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good bet that we're going to keep updating things to try to improve it. But I think if you write down the current steps to do it, they won't change too much, and we can inform you of any like app changes that might have to feed back into that and update that document. But yeah, we're probably going to be continuously improving the client software right up until the launch, and probably even through that until cards are actually shipped out, to make sure like the experience is as clean as we can make it before the testnet is actually in people's hands. But yeah, I think it would still be helpful to get the the documentation on the steps done now, especially because it'll help like flush out any problems with actually achieving this stuff. Like I know like my native Phonon currently only works at the command line, so we would need to provide some instructions to get that at the command line, or we'll probably work on trying to get that into the GUI before this is actually in people's hands, and then we'll change out those instructions for you.
Okay.
So from a timing standpoint, assume, let's say everything sells out on Thursday, then we're probably another week or 2 weeks before they receive the stuff, so we have some time to finalize this. Is that what everybody's thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, with a lag too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a range of times people get everything, whether they're US based or elsewhere in the world. But by that 2-week range from shipping, I think absolutely everyone should be covered.
Yeah, I was thinking if it's easier for like the testnet working group to operate this way, you could put the like open up the store first, but like put the rewards period for the testnet out a couple weeks, just so people know there's going to be a lag before they're required for answering questions and everything up until like cards have shipped. But it's really up to y'all how you want to like announce the testnet dates or convey them, I guess.
So like assuming we'll say you can order testnet kits on the 3rd, and then testnet will go live for testing 2 weeks after that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that makes things easier, because I know there was some debate last time about the duration of the testnet period, and I think we extended it to accommodate the shipping time. But we could also just push the start back until shipping is complete. But it's really up to y'all how you want to communicate it, or what you think is easier to coordinate around.
I think
I mean, it was
that
the only-
language is good. Rather than box us in to a specific number of days, just kind of leaving it open ended. When shipping is complete, it'll start. And
I think
then
we want
say,
to get data kind of ASAP, get testers in, and just run it for. I think we just say we're going to run it for roughly 2 months. But we don't want people like with cards just like, because the testnet will be live even before the cards ship. So once people have cards, like we do want people in, because otherwise we have this big influx, like surge of like 300 people the same day. Be nice to let them trickle in, and like so we can kind of stress test everything and make updates before we have like a big influx.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's totally fine too.
And I guess too is how are you feeling about just all the support, because you're leading the support team? Do you feel you have enough resources and people to support all these people coming in and asking questions?
I know that I had a ton of volunteers, and I need to reach back out to everybody and all that jazz. But yeah, I think that there's plenty of people that were interested in doing that. But I'll probably make another announcement just to double check who wants to be a part of that, because I'm probably going to be missing a few.
And as far as rewards go, that's sort of automatic after they register their card. After the testnet closes, they'll get the Phonon automatically sent to them to their Ethereum wallet that they set up.
It's going to be like batched towards the end of the testnet period. Like we'll have to go issue queries to our backend to figure out, which of the achievements someone's accomplished. So we'll probably do it in like batches. Like maybe we'll issue some like halfway through the testnet and sweep again at the end, or maybe we'll just sweep it all at the end and issue rewards at that time.
Got it. So the canned response is basically, once you do the test, like you don't have to do anything else. We know what you've done, and we're gonna make sure you get your reward. By the end of the test net, basically.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I guess with the exception of double spending a phone on, we'll need to see some, other proof of that. But I'm sure whoever figures that out will be able to provide it if someone can actually do it. But the rest of these, yeah, we'll be able to query them through our backend and issue it from there.
Maybe for the double spend one, you might want to set some guidelines for the disclosure too. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not like a live system, so we're not constrained by like, ethical disclosure guidelines. But I mean, maybe just like what burden of evidence would take to claim it or something.
Yeah, I can write up a little blurb for what that objective should look like and what the burden of proof would be for someone to show that.
Cool. Any other questions, Kamado, as far as like walking through this?
No, I think that's it. I missed that 7th step there, but I think that's all that I have for that. I would like to go see. Anybody else have any other questions before we jump ahead? Or comments? If not, we're gonna do looking at the calendar. We're planning to do a pre-launch tweet on Sunday around 1 o'clock. Just says like an announcement of an announcement. Hey, be ready for tomorrow. We're gonna have an announcement. Dan, I don't know if you got any more pictures of the cards, if you could send those over. That seems to be pretty popular on Twitter.
No, okay, yeah. I got a picture of my flashing rig. I can just give you some more snaps of the cards itself. Not sure what else to show, but I've got a stack of them produced over here. I could probably send you.
You have to do a TikTok dance with the cards. It's our only way to go viral.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, you might be waiting for that a while.
Dress sexy, but not too sexy.
That won't be a problem.
I feel like the true only way. I feel like the true only way is to probably going to be to do like a drift video of someone in a car like drifting and talking about Phonon. I feel like that's how we got to do it.
If you think we need to target the street racing demographic,
Yeah,
I think we do, and I will be expensing my gas for the month.
Oh boy.
I was thinking more nerdier folk of putting it on your wrist and then screaming "Heart of the Cards" and then slapping it down on the table. One person, thank you.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I got you. Yeah, I was on mute. I got a guffaw.
Just in terms of like broadly useful photos, just on a table with a different service, on a table with a card reader in the background. Like you are one of the few people that has actually handled these cards so far. So just any shot grabs more attention than a text-based tweet or announcement. And if you can just take like 10 minutes, crank through a bunch of cell phone photos, there'll be bound to be a handful of sharp, usable ones. I thought the one with all the cards getting flashed at your computer was super cool. So we only need a handful more, but until JT gets cards and can go ham green screening stuff and doing his thing, it's the best we've got to work with. So
Yeah, sure. I'll take a couple random ones today. I also sent the cards out to JT yesterday, so he should be getting them by Monday. Take some actually very good picks.
Awesome.
A little update on. Sorry, come on. Do you have anything else on pre-launch?
No, nothing for tomorrow or for Sunday. But I was gonna ask about the CoinMarketCap update. I know Rake and Justin, you guys were looking at that. I don't know if you got a chance to meet up.
So we didn't compare notes. We talked async, and Rake said he pushed through updates for all three coin sites that we're on. I didn't double check it. What we collaborated on was I shared a spreadsheet that I had to submit to CoinMarketCap before that just shows what are locked vesting accounts, what's the conversion contract, so that those were not factored into circulating supply. But he has all that, and he said he updated it, but I have to catch up with him on the status of whether the changes have been pushed through. And he also wanted to add the other the Phonon grid pools, because that's screwing up all our volume metrics and everything else. So, yeah, I'll have to ask Reek, but he says it's done. So
Great. And we already talked about updating the ordering page. So the only other thing that I had was in the Discord, there's several meetings that I set up for the Twitter Spaces and the launch stuff. If the more people that can get on, even Dan, Justin, if you guys can get on and help answer questions, that'll be helpful. But that's all I had, Mickey.
yeah, I'll be on all those. I haven't reached out to Crypto Texan and Eric and Sassel yet, but I will try and get that lined up for this coming week.
Timings for all those is in the events of the Discord.
Yes.
So I can make sure to be available. Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
All the times in the Discord should be your local time. So.
Okay, great. Because I'm terrible at time zones, so appreciate that.
So an update on timing for the Bankless Twitter Spaces. Specifically, I guess Justin and Dan. It's 10 a.m. on the 3rd of August. And does that work for both of you?
10 a.m. Pacific or Eastern?
Eastern, sorry. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern. Oh, okay. Yeah, that should work.
Yep, I can do that. I'm blocking these all off now. So, yeah, that works. 10 a.m. Eastern, Bankless podcast, Bankless DAO, Twitter Space.
Twitter Space, yeah.
Yeah. Bankless DAO podcast eventually.
Eventually.
Bankless, that is.
Do you have connects to them? Does anyone have connects to the Bankless guys?
I do, and I know Ryan and David, but I'll also say that they are a full media machine. It's not like almost every other podcast in the space is guys getting together and just being hey, you're free, we have an open slot. They have so many people producing and pre-scheduling stuff. It's hard to actually get involved. So
yeah, I
would say, even though I know them, I'd say that's the least likely thing until we do something larger scale. But other than that, yeah, there's lots of threads I can pull at in terms of people doing podcasts. Honestly, just my favorite thing, honestly, with GridPlus has been being surprised by the smaller people that reach out to actively ask about doing podcasts or AMAs, because they appreciate it more. If you go with a really big podcast, you get pushed along quickly and they're just on to the next flashy guest and you kind of fade into the background. When you take the time with someone smaller and build a connection, they really appreciate it. They really focus in on what you're doing, and you can build these I just feel the impact is probably larger with several small engaged communities versus I know if Bannon was here, he'd be yelling at me. He wants to always do the biggest things possible, and it's good to shoot for the moon. But in terms of organic growth and bringing more people directly to our community, yeah, I think a multitude of small ones is better than one moonshot one in terms of our effort and honing our message. So if you guys know of any, even people with a couple thousand monthly listeners or something, that's a great place to start. So share suggestions.
I'm kind of going as well, kind of very grassroots, just hopping into Discords, and that's how we got the Bankless Twitter Spaces, and Yam. Those guys are known forever, and doing very grassroots stuff is great because there's engaged people on Discord, and they're the most engaged, the most interested. And
there's with the NFT community with GridPlus, and I don't want to derail. There was a project I hadn't even heard of. It was the Doge Pound. And I was oh yeah, I guess we'll do a security AMA with them. I don't know anything about them. they were so nice and so supportive, and so many of those guys have been like kind of outspoken proponents of the lattice since. When you hit something like that that resonates, instead of just trying to go for the most popular thing out there, like I think that's a really big win, especially for us in the earlier stages. I love those guys. That's why I was throwing it out there. I have not yet purchased a Doge Pound PFP, but I like the guys a lot.
Taking notes. Just get on the Doge Pound. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Maybe I should check in on the Doge Pound. I was like, who wants to?
Doge Pound.
Yeah, it might be a little outside their wheelhouses, the NFT community, but you never know. So.
And Mickey, so the Bankless is on the Bankless Discord, or is it
Twitter.
the Bankless DAO Twitter?
Bankless DAO Twitter.
Okay.
Assuming Prod can figure out how to do that. I'm definitely slightly pushing him there, but it sounds like it's all good. So we should get pretty good reach if we do that. Super sweet guy. Prod is a member of the Bankless community. Really, really sweet dude.
Yeah, they were great when we did the follow up Discord discussion. That was a great opportunity too. They have more reach though. With everything token gated on the Discord, their Twitter space is like a much better forum for attracting new interest. So I'm glad you pushed in that direction.
Yeah, I hope it works out.
Hey, I got an update on as this relates. I got the press kit done, and I wanted to let me see if I can do this quick.
I'm excited to see how much of my stuff you've thrown away.
I removed a few things. Can you guys see some things? Or my screen? Or am I not sharing?
Not sharing.
I think you are not sharing.
I'm still on Clamado's feed.
There we go.
Let's see if it
There we
does. I think I've had trouble with this before.
Looks like it's still loading here. I'm getting those little.
Yeah, same here.
Yep.
Clamato, could you jump to the Phonon DAO drive? And
The
that
one
on-
on the
the
Phonon-
Phonon DAO at Gmail
yep.
is the. Yeah, mine. I don't know why this isn't working.
One second, let me share that. This one?
Yeah, and then you go to Drive. The Oh, so then I made a folder called Press and Media. So I dropped in some. There's like a couple logos. I have the current press release in that folder, but if we do more in the future, we can just have a little library there. And then, yeah, it's just that one. Ideally, all this will be like on the website one day because it'd be a lot more like user friendly, quick to link. But while we jump into the about Phonon PDF, if you would please. You may want. It's a PDF. You may want to just view it like that.
Okay.
Mickey had a deck and he put it together. I just kind of streamlined it, and I didn't keep everything as I didn't know if it was important. But you just scroll down. It's just a couple different pages. Mickey, I kept everything that you had in there. I just got rid of the blank ones.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, looks the same. I stole a lot of Ian's first draft images. I hope he's not angry about that.
Yeah, I think it looks good. So it's just a bunch of general information, and then some context stuff.
I think it looks awesome. Only thing that we might want to discuss, just the very first slide, like the lead in with like what is Phonon? Do we want to lead with it's an open source SDK or is it a protocol?
Yeah, I think you probably want to say that it's a protocol.
But yeah, I mean, but the rest, everything else, like this looks fantastic. And maybe we can, when we get one of those cool new Phonon card picks in there, we can sub that in.
Oh, like this Phonon made pick already. Someone made this that isn't related to the DAO. I have no idea who made that photo, that image. It was like in some review online that I found about Phonon. It's like a really cool graphic.
That is neat.
Yeah, someone just made that. I have no idea who made it.
Yeah, if anybody wants to add any other info or if we need other things that journalists might want, I figured this would be a good place to start collecting things. I don't know, just a simple media kit. Hopefully we get picked up and use it.
Can you dump in this folder the PowerPoint file? Or is it already in there?
So I didn't because the press release actually has a link to this folder, and I didn't think having like the PowerPoint.
I like that because people can steal the images they can copy and paste the images for like articles and stuff. Having a PowerPoint.
Okay.
But we can do that within like an asset kit. I kind of agree. I like to do the PDF so it shows up as you'd like, because even when people open stuff like on Apple, if you've actually worked in like PowerPoint, you start getting weird stuff with fonts and formatting. So it's nice to have it presented exactly as you'd like. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I did it this way, just to try to kind of lock it down a little bit. Like, this is what we have, this is what we're presenting. The actual like slides, PowerPoint is just one folder back in the like main drive area. So not everybody can have access to that. The press kit is open. But then yeah, it's on the right side there. Phonon press kit.
Okay, cool.
So you said the press release links to this drive?
The folder within the drive, just the press and media folder.
Okay.
Yeah, when we email different journalists, we'll just like send a link to this drive so they can, go deeper if they want.
Yeah. Can you? I mean, can I grab access to the root drive on this too? I think a lot of us would. I'd love to be able to have that, and I'm sure Mickey, if you want to look at it too. Yeah. Well,
like,
we can cover that after. I'll DM you.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I think Hunt originally grabbed the Phonon DAO at gmail.com email, and so then this is the drive associated with that. So it's just kind of a universal one. I'll just if you DM me, I'll just send you the password, I guess.
I just sent the link in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so that's all. I just wanted to let everybody know where that's at, and we kind of got it updated.
I think it looks awesome.
Good.
Yeah, I'll take like a stab in like the next hour, just at like an intro sentence, but otherwise, I think everything on there is fantastic. It looks sharp. So this is great.
Yeah, I figure later, we could do, like asset kits, like logos. Like, I just didn't have the time to go in and edit them and, get the light versions and dark versions. But ideally, in the future, we'd have like pretty much what's on GitHub live on the website, where it's like, click to download this asset pack, and they would download like the 6 dark versions of the logo or what have you. Just trying to make journalists' life easier. You know what I mean? That's the whole point.
A lot of these images are ours, but some of them aren't. The ones I put in here, I stole a few. So maybe when we do the asset folder, we kind of like delineate the stuff that we actually own.
I like good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so I stole a good number of images.
So, if there's anything that somebody sees missing, at least for this first press release, let me know or drop it in there.
So there was a couple of slides that I had blank, but in this that I wanted filled out, and I had some slides that I wanted, like the thing I was asking for support on this deck is getting information here that like around the tokenomic stuff and the token itself. And I think it's good just to put that in here because people will ask that question. So there was a couple. That's what the couple blank slides were, and I would like to have those answered in here.
So I didn't. I copied your original one because I figured if you're making like a investment deck or a pitch deck, it's going to be a little bit different than like a media deck. Just trying to pass like basic information. Again, we're kind of under a timeline here, so I was like, let me see what I can cut just to get this thing done, so that we're staying in line with the press release going out like today. But I hear you. I mean, I don't know exactly what journalists want in a presentation. You know what I mean? Like for their articles. So I just tried to give like, okay, how can they learn enough about Phonon in this presentation to sound like they're a subject matter expert without going too far and like losing their interest? I don't know if anybody's got any suggestions.
I think it's great. I think you want it to, follow that standard pyramid format for like if someone lazily checks in on the first couple of slides, they should get the high level synopsis and then they can drill into the details if they want more color.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a good general tool, having an introductory deck like this, even beyond the press. I will say the feedback that I got from people when I was trying to like push news articles to CoinDesk or Cointelegraph or whatever is that someone told me they're like great tech is not a story. Like there's going to be kind of a narrative element to it. Like why is this news on this day? The launch can maybe be something, but we don't want it like if an article looks like a press release, if there isn't like a broader angle or something unique, they're not going to want to run it. So
I totally agree. And I think we have a tendency to be very like terminology heavy in our explanation. So I think like for this, especially for like a novice audience, just to like simplify as much as possible. And I'm happy to give it a pass, Rushy, if you want to send me the link to once I get access to this drive, I'm happy to go in.
Yeah. I almost think leave it as is, except for I don't want to say like a clickbaity intro, but like something like almost more like a mission statement, like why we're doing this. So you can say in the modern era, cash is disappearing, but we feel it's of importance to retain its properties in the digital world, and we're looking to do that in a secure way for the assets you already hold. Something like that. And then drill into basically precisely all of this. I think it's awesome. I want that like that tip of the pyramid. If someone lazily opens it up, get them hooked on the first slide.
I mean, whatever you just said was pretty good. Like,
yeah, Mickey, now we'll do it after after the call. I'm gonna try and scarf down lunch when we wrap up this one before some more calls. But yeah, that's fine. What you did is fantastic, and it looks super sharp.
Rock and roll. All right, yeah. I mean, have at it. I just want to get the groundwork laid for the media kit, and we can take it from here.
I just wanted to ask the Nate and Dan something real quick. Is there going to be like an amount of logs that's almost too annoying? Like,
Yes.
if I choose, like, if people needed testnet ETH, can I redeem my phone on to their accounts as like airdrop? Because I was testing it with some other people and they didn't have any testnet ETH, and I was able to just open up a phone on to their address. Like, is me mass doing that going to be annoying instead of sending it to them?
Oh,
I'm
no.
sure that you sent it to them via Phonon and then they did it, but yeah, it'd be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you could send it to them as a phone on, or you could redeem it to their address. It won't create like too much log spam or anything for us. Like we're not gonna read all the logs end to end. We're gonna query through it for the information we need anyway. So
I will be printing out each and every log and reaming them like a book and then reading through them.
we'll
Nate,
send
we
everyone
don't print
a
the
bound
internet.
copy.
Yeah. Actually, that'd be kind of funny to print a bound copy of the testnet logs.
Phone on testnet logs. It'll be like 10,000 pages.
It'd be a collector's item someday, though. You know,
That's what I'm saying. I could get mad money off of this.
Yeah. You can
No,
post it
the-
on chain
the
as
DAO
an NFT.
can't. You don't do. Who owns the logs, Nate? Logs want to be free.
The GridPlus Corporation.
Maybe. I don't know. I choose not to think about it. Just onward.
Fair enough. Then it's just
Um,
me. I'll own them.
Yeah. All right. You can make it as a collector's item. Okay. All right. So should we jump back to the list, or we? What else do we have lined up? We got the tweet threads. We've got press kit, press release. Feels like we're in good shape. Just the press release timing, though. I know you said it like 3 or 4 times on the Discord. Is it going? It's going Wednesday with. Is it going Monday with the announcement or Wednesday with it like going live?
It's going to go out today. Cloak said it takes 3 or 4 days to actually like. I guess there's a queue of releases that.
But like they don't give you a target date. I only used PR Newswire once, and I think like I had to book it ahead that many days, but we specified like for release at this time on this date.
Good question. Let me ask Cloak.
So you're talking to Cloak. Is Dagger around?
No.
Boo.
Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Then,
Right.
while
That's good. I mean-
we're waiting on Cloak, the next meeting that I have is the Twitter Spaces on Monday, where we say that we're going to go live on Wednesday for ordering. So it's like on 8/3 you'll be able to order. So we're gonna, if everybody can jump on that Twitter Spaces on Monday, I think that'd be great.
Then we're also manually sending a bunch of press releases, and we'll send them out on Monday. We have like a list of contacts from media that Komano put together, and we're going to be sending out the press releases manually to them as well on Monday.
We got to send those from the info@phonon.network.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that the hour before, because I have us meeting, the communications meeting before then, so we can.
Yeah, we can have like a working meeting.
Yep. Who's bringing bagels?
Bring bagel NFTs.
I think we should just have the meeting at the Atlanta headquarters, and you should bring bagels.
Nate, no one likes Atlanta.
Disagree. How about this?
I'll
If you
be
bring
there in 2
bagels,
weeks.
I'll be bringing donuts.
Sorry,
I'll
I'll
be
be there in
donuts in
1
my
week.
car.
Mickey,
okay.
do you have anything else, or Justin, or anybody else?
I have nothing else.
Got all this stuff blocked on the
Yeah.
calendar. At some point today, like Mickey and I can just weigh in on the language on just revising that first slide on the press kit, or whomever wants to jump in and has an idea. And other than that, I will start just DMing people to try and line up a couple more podcasts for the coming week to help spread the word. So this all looks good. I said it to multiple people already, but I went out to like a blockchain meetup on Thursday night, and it was so awesome coming back late and then just seeing like, oh man, you guys were grinding through everything, lining all this up. It looked so professional. It was, I don't know, like a real sense of the organic community kind of coming together and working properly towards this goal, which is just it was real thrilling to see. A small thing that made me really, really happy. So what you guys have done here is awesome.
Nice, man. Appreciate that. Everyone's working super hard.
Justin, if you reach out to somebody, there's I posted this in comms, and it's editable. If you can just update it, that way we know we don't double.
Yeah, I have some context I can throw in here.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to change gears now and talk about websites. So if anyone wants to stay and talk about that, we're going to go over Ian's on, and we're going to talk about the latest like graphic stuff. But feel free to go about your day if you have some other stuff to do.
Yeah, I got to drop, but I will talk to you guys more later today.
Thanks.
Latest.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hey, can everyone hear me?